It's unpacking the plan to get more electric vehicles on Illinois roads. The governor says by 2030, you could see 1 million of them in our state.
But what is being done to make sure that everybody's included? WGN's investigative reporter Lourdes Duarte looks at the roadmap for an EV transformation.
There are two big reasons why people are switching to electric vehicles. One, you don't have to pay for gas, so you save money. The other is you don't contribute to air pollution. So think about that. In neighborhoods with fewer financial resources and where pollution is a problem, this could be a magical solution. The problem is, so far, those neighborhoods are waiting to get in the mix.
I've already kind of hooked my card up to it, so I hit confirm and pay.
It took some getting used to, but Charlene Hill has the hang of it by now.
The idea that I did not have to buy gas was a real kind of winner for me.
She's one of 40,000 registered drivers in Illinois relying on a fully electric vehicle.
When did you get this car?
This car I got this summer in July. It's a Niro EV Kia.
And she's happy to show it off.
Well,
Sell
it's a
me
little
on it.
dirty.
Give me your pitch.
She laughs about it, but it's been a smooth ride, although a bit of a bumpy road for a lot of Chicago neighborhoods.
Even in like Wicker Park, there's nothing.
Vanessa Perkins and Nada Dalamy are on the front lines of the electric vehicle's arrival, writing policy, doing research, and watching every turn.
Illinois is the Wild West for electric vehicles.
Why do you say that?
Because there's so much opportunity now coming down, but there's also a lot of coordination that needs to happen.
Let's talk about that coordination. It includes building hundreds, likely thousands of charging stations around the state to power the vehicles. If you live on the north side, you're probably familiar with them by now as they dot shopping strips and parking lots. But broaden that map out a bit and it's an entirely different look. McKinley Park, Little Village, Bronzeville, anywhere on the south and west sides, neighborhoods with their share of economic struggles, virtually no sign of them.
You shouldn't have to have less access to home charging just because of those disadvantages.
Vanessa Perkins' group, Community Charging, installed 6 charging stations in neighborhoods where there were none.
We have Albany Park, we have Old Irving Park, we have Back of the Yards, and we have Hyde Park here.
And you kind of pull it here.
It's the reason Charlene Hill has been able to make her EV work.
You're lucky.
Yeah. But other than this charger right here, there's really no other place in Hyde Park where you can charge.
And that right there is the start of the state's troubles. If the master plan is to have 1 million EVs on Illinois roads in just 8 years, a lot still needs to happen on Chicago's south and west sides and in other parts of the state.
We have the funding for it, but it hasn't been executed.
Unless that funding is used quickly, the fear is that black and brown communities will partly be left out of the EV mix.
We have, 77 neighborhoods in Chicago. I know 44 of them don't have any public chargers.
Brian Urbacheski, director of environmental health programs with the Respiratory Health Association, says there are buckets of dollars waiting to be spent, some of it from the federal government. But the coordination that would get the wheels turning is just not there.
That hasn't happened yet. And to be honest, that leadership needs to come from the governor's office and it needs to come from the Illinois EPA to find that person and put them in place so that they can begin to coordinate and get that money out there as quickly as possible.
If that can get to the people who can benefit from it the most, then we get the most benefit to society.
Let's get a little bit of length.
Until that happens, Charlene Hill may just be one of the few lucky ones.
Sometimes what I like is I'll stop and someone on the south side will ask me a question like, is that an EV?
Someday, she may not get that question as often once the EV transformation plan takes shape.
We're hopeful that's going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. And every day going forward is a lost opportunity.
And the governor did sign the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, which helps make sure diverse neighborhoods are a part of this. We know the Illinois Commerce Commission is overseeing the licensing of these charging stations. Even they agree it's a big undertaking that is still being coordinated. There are also pieces of legislation in the works. One of them would require new construction to be built EV ready, but so far that has received some opposition. I'm Lourdes Duarte, WGN Investigates.